I think I'd like to start off by framing this in light of the border. This is not by accident. And we've seen an attack on our educational system. It has been on purpose. This type of incompetency cannot be on accident. The cost of illegal immigration is taking a substantial toll on our country and our educational system. In Utah alone, illegal immigrants is estimated to be adding 54,000 students to local school systems. This total estimate cost of illegal immigration amounts to over $900 million. Now, this is a state that's close to $1 billion of extra costs, a state that prides itself on a balanced budget. It is unacceptable, unjust to students, teachers, and citizens to pay this price for President Biden's strategy for power. If misery is the goal of President Biden, not only is he an all-pro, but he's a Hall of Famer. We're looking at misery of parents that have to try to figure out how to get the resources for their children to learn. Misery in particular for the at-risk communities like Black communities that's already been stripped of resources because of the Biden COVID shutdown. At the school system in Virginia, 60% of Black students have lost 2 years of learning, and this will make it impossible for them to catch up. It's not only also in misery for legal immigrant children. Of course, I'd like to mention that 85,000 of them have been lost by this administration. They're unable to assimilate. They're unable to speak the language, to understand what American culture is all about. They're stuck as wards of the government. Poverty is their future, and it's on purpose. They're vulnerable to crime and gang violence. They're vulnerable to sexual and physical abuse. And these guys just don't care. So as we go through this process, please remember, if this is on purpose, there's only one word I can call it. It's called evil. No one should ever do this to children, vulnerable for power. And that's what we have going on right now. Ms. Igaran, in your testimony, you highlighted the Department of Education shows that 26 states have a shortage of English student learning teachers. How severe is that process going on right now? And is the answer to spin our way out?
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest problems is that there are 26 states now that have this shortage as documented by the report by the Department of Education. And you know, this is not just teachers who speak Spanish because there are children from every single country coming, and so it's just very hard to plan and then to be able to serve adequately. Okay.
It appears that the goal is, and as you mentioned in your testimony, that New York is lowering the bar of educational achievement following the learning loss of COVID. Is this a new American wave process now to figure out how dumb we can get our kids and call that success?
So what New York did, it's so appalling. And for me as a mother, I can't believe what they are asking me to do. Basically, they said that what third graders, for example, could do a few years ago, it's not what third graders now can do. So what they are telling me is that my 11-year-old, what he could do in third grade is not what I should expect for my lowest son, my youngest son. No parent will accept that. And what New York is doing is try to hide the learning loss from closing schools for so long, from masking mandates, from COVID vaccine mandates that prevented children and parents from going in our school buildings.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, you mentioned the public school system communities have become hotbeds of criminal activity, recruitment, exploitation, and death. We have experienced that in Utah. In Utah, this last February, we had an illegal alien raped an 11-year-old girl. Can you elaborate more on the failure of securing the border has created and the type of environment it's set up because of this policy?
Yes. So, and I think that that's one of the most egregious things is that this isn't safe for the children, for the students, for the staff, for the communities in these schools and in the surrounding areas. We're failing. We're failing the future of our country. We're failing on every level.
And Ms. Mark, what are the in California? When you strain our system, what are the services and programs that are first to be cut from taxpayers' children when these resources are short?
Yes, it's always our most disadvantaged and our most vulnerable children that suffer the most. Those are the programs that go first, and we have a significant number of those children in California, about 800,000, and also a significant amount here in Orange County. So,
well, I'll just say this. Anyone in the Biden administration that has any touch at all in education should be fired. This is not something we should ever expect for our children to go through. These are the most vulnerable in our country, and they simply do not care. It's called evil. So thank you guys so much for that. I appreciate it, and I yield back.
Thank you very much, Representative. Let's go to the Northern Mariana Islands.